for Common Man. Common man, charms the housewives like no one can. What did you shoot?
Where'd we play?
Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
Rosa, you don't know nothing.
Sometimes when you practice, you'll set up chairs. And you run through chairs just to show zones and stuff. The Viking defense looks like it's chairs. All the defensive backs covering are just atrocious today for the Minnesota Vikings.
Boy, how disappointing is that?
Time for 2 more questions, guys.
We'll keep playing until someone puts the puck in the net. Lamb on the right side. In the corner, Oleksic. Schmidt now for Oleksic in behind. He centers. Yes! Kyle Schmidt! Cubs have won the championship! UND has won the championship! Kyle Schmidt with the game winner! Yeah, baby!
Okay, calm down.
That's all, folks. Quack, quack.
You think that's some information I would like to know?
Yeah, Rosie. Lucky. Border battle.
Nothing's that funny. Here we go.
He's the clown from Brown. He's the 4th in the North. This is the common man, Dan Cole.
You ever out in, like at a restaurant or a restaurant or a bar or any public place, right, where people are laughing, smiling, having a great time. And you'll hear somebody laughing uproariously, right? I mean, almost as if they were at a flop, sweat, and tear stand-up comedy performance. And I say this to my boys all the time and my wife. I under my breath, I don't say it loud enough to people. I go, nothing is that funny. Nothing is. You know, have you ever people like that?
Well, the perfect example is John Bonas when he's in studio with the Power Trip. He acts like everything they say is just the funniest thing you could ever imagine.
Okay, and nothing's that funny. There is nothing that is that funny, and so it's like, but or maybe I missed the funniest line in the entire, and I'll never get to hear it again. Maybe I missed the funniest line ever uttered by a human being. You know, like, I just flew in from New York. My arms aren't tired a bit, and I didn't get an opportunity to hear that joke, and that's unfortunate for me and for everybody else. I had a different morning today, tend to be. First of all, I had garbage disposal repairman at my house at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
7 a.m.
Bright and early.
Bright and early, garbage disposal guy came in, and so I said, it's making it, you know, and I even asked him, I said, There was a commercial once where it was a car repair commercial where you try to explain to the mechanic the sound the car's making. It goes blah, 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 blah. And I tried to do that. I said, how many times have you had people try to explain how their garbage disposal sound? Mine goes, you could tell it wasn't operating. And I said, now look, you might find, I think it's possible something's just lodged in there. I said, but I looked. I had a flashlight. I didn't want to stick my hand down in the garbage disposal. What if by chance it goes off? Just one of those freak accidents, right? And all of a sudden, there goes the golf game. And he found it was a piece of plastic that was stuck up under a flap. That's what it was. So I guess I just disposed of $300. No! Can I get a rim shot? And he said, that'd be about $1,000. But he was just kidding. It was a $99 service call.
Oh.
Bond fee. They advertised with us.
That's nice.
$99. He knew who I was, too, after he goes, are you Common? I go, yeah. So then I thought he was going to charge me double. But he didn't. And then he got to meet Deuce. Because Deuce was just leaving the house for work. But so I got that done, which, and I'm thinking maybe, I looked last night. What do you think a brand new garbage disposal would cost if they have to put one in? Do you have a garbage disposal at your house?
Yeah.
Does everybody have them now? I suppose not everybody. Older homes probably don't have them. What do you think a brand new, top of the line garbage disposal would cost?
I would have no idea.
It was, according to AI, it was about $400.
Yeah, I would have guessed that.
Anywhere from 50 to 400. 50, what do you just grind it up on your own? I mean, for $50. Nothing costs just $50. No appliance costs $50 nowadays, but apparently you can get it at garbage disposal. But you know what he said about mine? Well, you got a high-end one. So tell me, while other people go, I got a Lexus. I got a Mercedes. I got a high-end garbage. I can bring that up at the next cocktail
How do you
party.
define the high-end?
Well,
like, is there a camera inside there that watches you?
No.
So you can watch the food get chopped up?
Here's what it is. Mine's 3/4 horse. Most are just half horse. So mine grinds it up faster and quicker and better. Has anybody told you this before? I think it's just people trying to get me going. They say that, like, when your garbage disposal sends stuff out, where does it go? And I've been told rats live under your house and feed off of it. No! He better not poke his head up in that sink, because that's the last time he'll do it. So I got that done. Then I had to go get an oil change at Paulie's Automotive, who's my cousin. And then at 11 o'clock, I had a speaking engagement. iHeartRadio speaking engagement. They had their keynote speaker, Chris Foley. You're familiar with the name, right? Chris is like, I think she's the regional vice president or president. She handles, she gets in, she gets out, right? She comes to town.
Cash in, cash out.
I think I've met her once. But she wasn't able to get there. So it was Leadership Council 2026. And they wanted me to speak about being a leader.
Huh?
I'm not making it up. So I did the bit I always do. I come in and I reach into my coat pocket and I pull out a piece of, there's nothing written on it, but I pretend there is. And I go, 4 years. Oh, wait, that's the wrong speech. I toss that. And then I pull out another piece of paper from the other pocket and I do the old, Ich bin ein Berlin. No, do you know what Ich bin ein Berliner is from? That was when John F. Kennedy was speaking. I think it was at the Great Wall of China. Why he was talking about Berlin there, but he goes, I am a Berliner, right? And then I do I have a dream. No, that's wrong. And then I do, I don't even need notes for this one. Ask not what the common man could do for you, but what can you do for the common? And then I had these leadership quotes, tend to be, that I found online. I actually put more work into a throwaway 5-minute speech than I do in my show. Some of these quotes about leadership are some of the best. How about this one? If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader.
Oh.
The art of leadership is saying no, not yes. It's very easy to say yes. Here's another. A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Show me the way every day. Peter Frampton song. Here's one. A leader is best when people barely know they exist. they will say, we did it ourselves, right? So you lead them in a way that they think, you basically trick them into thinking they did it all on their own, because you don't need the verbal slaps on the back. You don't need the
adulation.
You don't need the adulation. The greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest things. He is the one that gets the people to do the greatest things. And then my favorite, General George Patton. Familiar with him, Genevieve?
Recognize the name.
Tank Commander, WW2, the big one. He said, lead me, follow me, or get the hell out of my way. I just love that. Either lead me, follow me, or just get out of the way. We don't have time. Right? Ask not what the common man can do. And then I basically criticized all the other air talent and just basically praised myself. Blew my own horn.
That sounds on brand.
Yeah, it was. Well, I was very on brand. And then I also threw in another great saying, dog with a note in its mouth could sell the fan.
I always love that one.
So, and I got a free lunch out of it. Where
at?
Have you ever heard of what you would think this is yucky? You wouldn't even show up for this. It's called Green and Grain.
Probably not right up my alley, no.
Yeah, it almost sounds like one of those self-sustainable food farms, right? Yeah, it's salads. You know,
not going to work.
Yeah, I got some kind of a salad that's got a little chicken on it, and it's got some arugula. I think that's how you say it. So I don't know. I'll eat it. Arugula. So yeah, I was asked to give the. I mean, how badly are they scraping the bottom of the salad bowl when they ask me to come and speak? How many did they ask you and you couldn't make it? My guess is they did.
I didn't get the invite.
I did say this one thing when I was a leader. I said the one thing for me, because I did program radio stations. I programmed 5. Well, actually 3, but 5 sounds like 6, 7 different radio stations I programmed. And I would never ask somebody, one of the disc jockeys, to do something I wasn't willing to do as well. Right? I used to ask you to check my email, but that was because I didn't know how to. And now I do know how. But like a lot of times, because it's hard to find part-time disc jockeys in small towns. So I'd look at the full-timers and say, we're short a person right now. You know, we're waiting for the next disc jockey to come to town. You need to do a 12-hour disc jockey shift on Saturday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. They go, what about you? I go, I'm doing 12 hours on Sunday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. As long as you are willing to do what you're asking the others to do, that's leadership, I think. We'll pause. And by the way, if anybody wants to hire me, if you liked what you just heard and want to hire me for a motivational speech, I'm all ears.
Boy.
Just go to comment@KFAN.com. And remember, as Ben Franklin once said, a penny saved is a penny earned. And he also said a penny saved doesn't amount to very much anymore. And he also said, think big and be big. And my favorite Ben Franklin quote, no money, no funny. Genevieve, you got a keyword for us.
Yes, the fan wants to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Enter the keyword happy at KFAN.com now for a shot at winning. That keyword is happy. Enter now at KFAN.com. Witness undeniable blues rock brilliance when Joe Bonamassa lights up the Treasure Island Amphitheater. Don't miss out when the 5-time Grammy nominee takes the stage alongside Government Mule. On August 15th. Secure your tickets today at TICasino.com.
My favorite Government Mule song is, well, I'm lost in love and I don't know much.
That's a good one.
I'm thinking aloud and I fell out of touch. You know who did that song?
I recognize the song. Probably once you say the name, I will.
My favorite duo of all time. They're in Aussie. We talked duos yesterday on Rock Rank.
Loggins and Messina?
No, I was making that because it's Air Supply.
Oh, yeah.
They were a duo from Australia, Air Supply. They did a lot of, I just thought of an old Inside Radio joke. We used to call songs like that, but I can't say it on the air because I'd get fired. But anyway, time for Peek at the Purple, brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. New year, new goals. How about a safer home? January is the perfect time to upgrade outdated panels, add surge protection, or finally fix those electrical issues you've been ignoring, which is what I did. I had Nick come over and take a look at my place. He gave me a couple of ideas, and I said, I'll have you over. I haven't done that. I got to get him to come over. Affordable Electric helps Twin Cities homeowners start the year right. 612-331-VOLT. 612-331-VOLT. Or schedule online at affordable-electric.com. Affordable-electric.com, remember, is shockingly affordable. That's what Affordable Electric is. I don't really have anything Viking related. Maybe you found something. I will say this. I'm wondering, yesterday was like was it the 25th anniversary of the John Madden Chairs game?
Yeah.
With so many bad things that have happened and good things, is there an anniversary for today? Because, so many times postseason play could have been January. What is the date today? Is it the 13th today or 14th?
15th.
15th. So maybe they played on January 15th sometime and had something just awful happen to them. Or maybe something wonderful. I don't know. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. We didn't get too in-depth into it. Just Rosen talked about how Moss was on the field before the game, demanding his posse get to be on the field. The overconfidence the Viking coaching staff had, a very good source that was confirmed by someone else, said that off the record, the coaching staff told a couple of media members, we're going to beat them by 3 touchdowns. That's how confident they were that they were going to be. And they got beat by, wasn't it Kerry Collins was their quarterback? He looked like Tom Brady in his prime. I think Kerry Collins threw for half a dozen tutties, 6, 7. Big yards. They just steamrolled the Vikings. And I did not see it coming either. I wasn't thinking the Purple were going to win by 3 tutties, but I thought that was there have been several times I've thought they're headed back to the big game. We thought so in 98. We thought so in 09, and even in 2000. Because they went in as prohibitive favorites, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Next couple days, we have some Vikings playoff losses that are on anniversaries.
Oh, really?
Today, we have 2.
We have 2
on January 15th. This one I was too young for, but you might be able to shed some light on it.
Okay.
January 15th, 1983, the Vikings lose divisional round to Redskins, 21-7.
That was the one where Darren Nelson, do you know that name?
Yes.
Darren used to be a regular on the Chad and Barrow show. Great. I wonder what he's doing now. He was so much fun to have on the air. I still think it was a great throw, but he probably should have caught it. He got a throw in the end zone, and it went off his hands, kind of a lower throw, but he should have had it. I think he would even say that. Was unfortunate, but that drop kind of cost him the game. It was sort of like Jackie Smith with the Cardinals all those years ago, and then you have to remind me again, I've asked you like 8 times now, the Ravens tight end, Mark Andrews. He dropped one. It was kind of like, not quite as bad, but yeah, that was it. That was a game, the Vikings. That was the year. Was that the same year the Vikings went in with a really poor record and they beat San Francisco and New Orleans? I'm almost certain that was the same year where they pulled 2 big upsets to get to the NFC Championship game and they lost to Washington. Is that correct, or do I have my years mixed up?
They beat Atlanta.
Oh.
First game of the playoffs, and then Washington's second game. They lost to Washington.
Right. Maybe even
looks like it might have been like a strike shortened season or something, because they went 5-4 during the season.
Yep, that was the strike shortened year. I'm almost certain that's the Darren Nelson game, and it was against Washington, but I thought the final was 17-4. Maybe I just get my losses to Washington and other playoff losses confused.
The other game on January 15th, just 3 years ago, 2023, the number 3 seed Vikings lose the wild card game to the New York Giants.
That was the one.
Daniel Jones.
Yeah, that was the one where Danny Jones. That got Brian Dable. Think about how this does change. He was coach of the year that year. He was the NFC coach of the year.
And Danny Jones got paid after that.
And Danny Jones got paid. And that was Kevin O'Connell's first playoff play. He's 0-2 in postseason play. We haven't won a postseason game in how many years now? 6, 7? Has it been the Vikings?
Had it been the Cousins or Kyle Rudolph against the Saints?
That was I bet that wasn't that 6, 7
Before the
years
Minneapolis
ago?
Miracle?
Yeah, that has to be at least 6, 7 years ago.
Well, that was after Minneapolis Miracle, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, Minneapolis Miracle would have been 8 years ago because it was the 2017 season.
Okay.
And so that one must have been a year or two after.
Yep. So
maybe 2 years after.
So it's been a while since we won a playoff game. That, I don't remember much of that game, to be honest, other than the tutty. I mean, they all kind of run together after a while. Because there wasn't anything that, it's not like, the Favre play, right? And it's not like Anderson missing the field goal, where just, or Blair Walsh missing a field goal. Ones that just stand out because they were just so awful, I don't really, I know the Vikings won, but I don't even remember all the circumstances to it.
All I remember is Adam Thielen catching a ball, like a 40-yard pass down by the 1 or 2, like over his head. And then the Rudolph pass in overtime for the touchdown.
Rudolph? Yeah.
Yeah, 2019 was the last time the Vikings won a playoff game.
Yeah. Been a while, so and I'm not sure if we'll get By
the way, Darren Nelson, all it says on his Wikipedia page is that he spent 15 years in the administration at Stanford.
Yep.
In 2011, Nelson became the senior associate athletic director for the University of California, Irvine. So I don't know if he's still doing that or still there, but that's all it says on Wikipedia.
Does it mention his drop pass in there? Because they usually have the good and the bad. And like I say, I always stuck up for their...
So I thought it wasn't 83 just because I thought it was later than that. As a running
87.
back, Nelson was a threat as both a runner and receiver out of the backfield, though he's perhaps best known for dropping the game-tying touchdown on 4th down in the closing moments of the 1987 NFC Championship game.
87, it was Washington, right?
And apparently in 88, he missed 3 games with an injury because he fell down the stairs at his house.
I didn't know that. I don't remember that. Yeah.
And then he was part of the Herschel Walker trade.
I'd forgotten that. So, Darren Nelson. There you go. Peek at the Purple, brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. For all of your electrical needs, affordable-electric.com, affordable-electric.com, or 612-331-VOLT. Remember, they are shockingly affordable. More controversial Vikings news other side of the break here on the Common Man program on the Fan.
Feel the energy of the state of hockey.
State of hockey.
Minnesota Wild Hockey is back at Grand Casino Arena. Don't miss the speed, the hits, and the roar of the crowd. Get your tickets now at wild.com/tickets.
Couple 13-14 pastime common He's Tennessee. Postseason edition of week 2 of Spread Swing at 1:30. Deuce will join us along with Mark Rosen. I received this email yesterday at comment@kfan.com it was at 1:02 yesterday afternoon. And during the Grum, it says, Comment, good afternoon. I heard your segment on golfing and how some people think getting on the PGA Tour might be an easy thing. I golfed with my realtor, who was an instructor in Colorado and played in some PGA qualifiers. He does or did have his PGA card. This guy is a ridiculous golfer. I golfed with him at Troy Byrne in a tournament at the end of September. He had never played the course, was using new clubs, and we shot a 15 under. Let me be clear. He shot minus 15. I did not contribute much at all. I'm a 10 handicap. I know, not the best. And I wasn't even close to that guy. Derek averaged 340 yards off the tee in the middle of the fairway. It was amazing to watch. And he said he wasn't close to making the tour. I'm not sure why people think making the PGA is an easy thing. If he couldn't make it, I'm not sure how any of those guys do it. What you see on TV is not typical average. Thank you, Craig. And that was the point we were trying to make. You know, we're talking about Thielen, announcing his retirement. He's at other times during his Vikings career had expressed an interest in when he retired to try to get a PGA Tour card. And I was like, boy, I really don't think that's going to happen. But then I received another email at comment@kfan.com at 1:13 in the afternoon. It was a link to a Wikipedia page of Babe Didrikson Zaharias. Have you heard that name before, Tennessee?
No.
Babe was her nickname. Her real name was Mildred Ella Didrikson Zaharias. She was born June 26, 1911. She died September 27, 1956. Babe was an American athlete who excelled in golf, basketball, baseball, and track and field. She won 2 gold medals and a silver in track and field at the 32 Summer Olympics before turning to professional golf and winning 10 LPGA major championships.
Wow.
So there's, because I said, I don't know anybody other than John Brody, former San Francisco 49er quarterback, who was really, I don't know if John's in the Hall of Fame, not, but he was one of the better quarterbacks of that era. He and Tarkenton, Roman Gabriel, Dandy Don Meredith, and several others. But how good of an athlete was Babe Didrikson Zaharias? I mean, she won gold medals in the Olympic and then said, okay, maybe I'll take up golf. And she won 10 LPGA majors.
Also, like, they're not like comparable sports.
No.
One's running and speed and one's stationary with hand-eye coordination.
Yes.
Like,
She was the 6th of 7 children born in the coastal city of Port Arthur, Texas. Her mother, Hannah, and her father, Ole, were immigrants from Norway. Although her 3 elder siblings were born in Norway, Babe and her 3 siblings were born in Port Arthur. Although best known for her athletic gifts, she had many talents. She competed in sewing. I didn't know they had sewing competitions. Maybe I missed my calling. So what? So this, so that. An excellent seamstress, she made many of her own clothes, including her golfing outfits. She made her own clothes. She claimed, they say claimed like we don't have any proof. She claimed to have won the sewing championship at the 1931 State Fair in Texas. She did win the South Texas State Fair in Beaumont, embellishing the story many years later in 1953. She attended Beaumont High, never a strong student. She was forced to repeat the 8th grade. She would enjoy listening to the Power Trip Morning Show. She was forced to repeat the 8th grade and was a year older than her classmates. She eventually dropped out. She has a lot in common with the common man. Without graduating after she moved to Dallas to play basketball. She was a singer and a harmonica player and recorded several songs on the Mercury Records label. Her biggest seller was I Felt a Little Teardrop with Detour on the flip side. Do you think that song's even possible to find? Will we get in trouble for playing it because it's licensed music? I Felt a Little Teardrop. She's Bob Dylan-like. She would not only sing, but she'd play harmonica.
She can do it all.
She could do it all. In Beaumont, there's a park named after her. She's got a museum. She's a 3-time AAU All-American in basketball. She played organized baseball and softball, was an expert diver, bowler, and roller skater. She could do everything. Roller skate. I wonder if she could roller skate in a buffalo herd. I wonder if she could bowl while roller skating. That would really be an accomplishment. What couldn't she do? It's astonishing. 32 Olympics, post-Olympics, golf awards, played baseball, last years and death. She had colon cancer. She made a comeback in 54 after undergoing surgery. But anyway, so somebody has done it, Tennessee. It has been done. Somebody that excelled in other sports has actually turned out to be a...
Why has she never been mentioned as basically like the greatest athlete of all time?
Well, that's what I don't know because I know the name from golf is all I knew. Being the official, unofficial ambassador of Minnesota Golf, I know who she is. But I had no idea because I'd never taken a deep dive, and she was an expert diver. She probably took a deep dive in her own life. Look at all of what she accomplished. Why isn't she? Well, here in 1950, the Associated Press voted Zaharias as the greatest female athlete of the first half of the century. She posthumously received the Bob Jones Award, the highest honor given by the United States Golf Association, in recognition of distinguished sportsmanship in golf. It was accepted by her husband, George, 4 months after her death. She's in the LPGA Hall of Fame. She's in the Florida Sports Hall of Fame. She's in the National Women's Hall of Fame, LPGA Hall of Fame, Texas Golf Hall of Fame, Women's Hall of Fame, Minnesota Broadcasters Association Hall of Fame. Even Babe Didrikson, Zaharias is there, and I'm not there. And she was never a broadcaster. That's how much they thought of her. So good for her.
Her real name is Mildred.
Yep. Mildred. Elite level at a lot of different sports, man. That's pretty cool. So good for her. How about this text that came into the Paul Allen Project today? Now, was it Russo in for PA? Or was he just a guest?
PA was at Tria Rink for Vox in the Box.
Katie writes this for Russo. Thank you for your recent tough love stance on your KFAN segments that Kaprizov needs to pick things up. Kaprizov signed the biggest contract in NHL history, been unnoticeable too often in games lately. I know he can't turn things on off like a switch, but this is a noticeable lack in production. Hughes is putting up the apples. Kaprizov's got the yips or something, and Joel Eriksson Ek is the MVP of the team. Katie from Bloomington, can you go through that step by step? Is Kaprizov not? And we know, I'm not ripping him because players go through lulls. You have ups and downs, highs and lows. Has he been a little unnoticeable lately or not?
Yes. I would sense the Quinn Hughes trade. I feel like Kirilla's just been like another guy.
Really?
And I'm guessing part of it is poor play, maybe not engaged. Some of these guys you never know.
Does he even have a girlfriend?
Some of these guys you never know if there's injuries that we just don't know about. But that's, as far as we know, I haven't heard anything with him. He seems to be healthy. The other part is when Kirill, before Quinn Hughes came here, if Kirill Kaprizov was on the ice, the teammates would go out of their way to get him the puck, right? Okay. He's our best player. He's going to be the guy who possesses the puck. And now that's changed. When Quinn Hughes is on the ice, Quinn Hughes is the one who possesses the puck. So all the shifts that Kaprizov's out there with him, I feel like there's a little bit of lack of chemistry so far between the two of them, where they're not hitting on passes all the time and still learning each other's game. And I was actually just listening to Russo's podcast last night, and now I forgot what I was going to say. He made some sort of comment regarding
lack of productivity.
Oh, he was making a comment about like Hughes is so good, but he's also, because he's so good, he's a little unpredictable.
Okay.
Right, like he makes plays and makes decisions with the puck that no other defenseman in the league makes, which makes him successful, but then it's also hard for a teammate to kind of read what he's going to do. Right, if you're looking to get in a certain passing lane and be ready for a puck, and that sometimes guys aren't ready for his passes because they're not used to seeing a guy who can pass like that.
It's almost like the comparison I want to make. It's like meat sauce. He's so good at what he does, but people just don't know what he's going to say next. And so his hockey and sauce really aren't sure where he's going because he's that. That's a bad example. Sorry.
So yeah, I'm not in panic mode over it.
Right.
Kirill's got a lot of equity here, and I think eventually he's still an elite level player. So I'm not too concerned about it, but I would agree over the last couple weeks, he hasn't been the same dominant Kirill we're used to seeing.
Katie also says in her very last line of her text message, she thinks Joel Eriksson Ek is the MVP of the team so far. Could you make a case for that?
Fallness said the same thing when him and I did KFAN Wild Weekly last night. I'm not ready to go that far.
Okay.
I know it's one of those cool things to say. Oh, he's not the best player on the team, but I'm going to call him the MVP.
Right.
I mean, maybe the hardest to replace if you want to go that route, just because they don't have the depth of that position. Where when he missed last game and he was working on his skating this morning, so not sure if he's going to be in the lineup versus Winnipeg tonight. But the last game, when he's out, it completely transforms and changes your lineup because you don't have centers. He's your only shutdown center. You can play him in every single role, 5-on-5, shutdown guy. He can score. He's got net front presence. He can play power play. He plays penalty kill. So there's a big gap between Joel Eriksson Ek and the next center. So I guess if you want to go that route in terms of calling him an MVP, sure. But since Glenn Hughes came, he's the best player, and it really hasn't been close.
Okay.
And if you want to go MVP, I'd probably say Matt Boldy throughout the entire season.
Okay.
Matt Boldy's leading the team in goals. He's basically on par with Kaprizov in points. He's had your most clutch goals on the season. So I would, and Eriksson Ek has really not had a great offensive season. So I wouldn't.
But we do feel like we don't need to think that, well, Kirill and Quinn can't play together. It's just never going to work, right?
They should be able to play together.
Yeah, right, okay.
Yeah. Good hockey players will play with good hockey players.
Saw this in CBS Sports.
But I even said it like, whatever you want to say about long road trips, West Coast, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
I get we like to downplay that some, but they did have the longest road trip they've ever had in their history of their franchise.
Because of World Juniors?
Yes.
Yeah.
To me, it does. And whether we want to admit it or not, where they're at in the standings, they're never going to catch Colorado.
Okay.
The team that's behind them in fourth place is never going to catch them. Barring some unbelievable collapse.
Injuries or collapse.
I get it's possible, but like they're kind of stuck in their position where they are. Like it's going to be them and Dallas in the first round. It's just a matter of who plays at home for one extra game. So it is a little human nature at this point of the season when you're grinding and like these games aren't that important.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's not, you're not in desperation mode. Let's show them what Minnesota Wild hockey's all about. Like I can see them. It's human nature sometimes for us to go through the mode. You and I putting up huge ratings. Are we going to give our 100% effort every single time? Obviously not.
You don't? This is all I got. I don't have any more than this one. This is the best I can do. I'm giving it everything I got, which ain't much. Well, the one thing about that, though, you're right, the human nature stuff, but that is the one thing that still grinds me a little bit is it's an entertainment industry and people are paying money for the tickets, and I get it, but you still should. But yeah, that can happen. I saw this.
But it's it's a sport in which you can get injured easily and be out for a while. And at some point when you know you're going to be a playoff team and you know where you're going to be in the playoffs, am I going to make, am I going to make that extra move to sacrifice my body here?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Move over, Wilt Chamberlain. You have company. A high school basketball, this is from CBS Sports, so I think it's true. A high school basketball player in Zona became the latest to join the 100-point club, and he needed just 3 quarters to do it.
Wow.
Adrian Stubbs, a guard at Phoenix Maryvale, became the first player in Arizona high school basketball history to score 100 points in a game with his historic effort in a 109-25 win over Yuma. They scored 100. He scored 100. The team scored 109.
Did anyone else touch the ball?
Kofa beat Yuma Kofa on Tuesday. He scored 70 points in the first half. Added 30 more to his tally in the third quarter before taking a seat on the bench for the final period. Stubbs shattered the 6A record, which belonged to recent Arizona Wildcats standout Nico Mannion at 57 points. He surpassed the state record of 75 points, which had stood since the 65-66 1A season early in the third quarter. Stubbs' previous career high was 56, 1 point shy of the 6A record. His coach said, "This kid doesn't cease to amaze me. His will to win and fight and grit are second to none. He's got a lot of people backing him, wanting the best for him. He's a gamer. He's also a volume shooter."
What position does he play?
He's point guard.
Well, that's even more impressive to do it as a point guard.
I think it said he was point guard.
It
just says guard.
I assumed he was like a 7-foot center that just would camp under the hoop and they just throw it up to him.
It says guard, so I don't know if it's pointer or off guard. Probably plays a little of both.
That's impressive.
Well, here's what I'll tell you. Was the other team playing 3 guys? I mean, did they ever try to defend him? I mean, after he's poured in 30 in the first quarter, don't you go, maybe you want to get a hand in his face?
Well, apparently he's not passing the ball.
No, and he's not passing the ball either. 100 points in a game. He did it in 3 quarters. Man, what year is he in? I mean, could the Wolves get him now? Because we've been talking about maybe adding another point guard. It's a hell of a 100 points in a game. I'm just trying to figure out what the other team was doing, and apparently they weren't doing very much defensively. They weren't any good. It's obvious. All right, one other thing before we go to break. So Dylan Raiola decides he's going to transfer to Oregon, right? Because there's an opening. Because is it Moore? Is that the kid's name?
Dante Moore.
Dante Moore, highly regarded, right? One of the best quarterbacks in college football. He was going to move on and make himself eligible for the National Football League draft. So Oregon's looking for a quarterback. Dylan's looking for a home. Decides to go there, and then all of a sudden, the Moore kid says, "I've changed my mind. I'm coming back." But so I looked this morning. I did not see a story about what's Raiola's reaction. He's cool with it. He's going to be a junior this year, so he'll return for a senior season more than likely. But it also, the story said for 2 years and maybe more. So in other words, will he get a red shirt, or will he become a graduate, or will he go for an extra degree, his master's degree at the school, and be able to continue? I don't know how that works, because we see guys all the time that get didn't Parker Fox play 8 years for the Gophers?
Yeah. A lot of it was injury related. Yeah.
So, and I guess Raiola did have an injury, so maybe that has to do it too. But I wonder what he thought when he was, because I'm sure he's thinking, well, I'm going to be the starting quarterback at Oregon. Then how did he find out? Did he get a call from the coach? Hey, Dylan, by the way, you're not going to be starting next year. He's coming back. But he said he can learn more from him and stuff like that.
Well, a couple things. If he is fine with it, which I have a hard time believing, but if he is fine with it, that means he's making some good money at Oregon.
Oh, yeah.
He's happy with what they're paying him. The second part of this is, can he decommit now and go back into the portal?
Well, that I don't know.
Like, what are the rules?
I don't know. Isn't that the Phil Knight? Isn't he Oregon? Doesn't he pump his money?
They got the Nike money.
They got Nike money is what they got. That's like having league money, having Nike money. That's a lot of loot. So, yeah, but I just found it hilarious. It's just all of a sudden, kid thinks he's going to be the starting quarterback at the Final Four team. Boy, they just we already talked about it. Well, they just got destroyed by Indiana. Do you think Miami, I mean, I know they can win, but I find it hard to believe. I mean, Miami's defense is really, really, or no, is it Florida? Where they play Miami, right? Miami's really good defensively. You look at the numbers, they're so good.
I just saw the first, or maybe it's the second mock draft from Dane Brugler, and Indiana quarterbacks got the consensus number 1 overall pick.
Someone just sent a text that says Raiola already decommitted to Oregon.
Oh, did he already do it?
Well, see, but this morning I read a story that said he was excited to still be going. Maybe that was his first reaction. You just tell him you're okay with it till we figure out what we're going to do next, right? Because that's what the story said. I read it. I know I did. He said he was going to be fine with it. He was all good. But anyway, Rosen and Deuce join us 1:30 for Spread Swing. 5-3-4 other side of the break. Tanner, what you got?
The Twins made an acquisition. Ooh.